Good morning, how are you? Today we are going to be talking about modal verbs plus passive infinitive. At the first, we have to know the form of the modal verb in present and past and the usage of it. I mean, when do we use this modal verb? Let's start with the first modal verb is can, and the past form of can is could. The usage of this modal verb, or when do we use this modal verb? At the first, when we talk about or express about ability. Ability means القدرة على القيام بشيء ما. For example, Julie can or could swim. It expresses about ability. The second usage is request. Request means when you ask someone to do something. For example, if you ask your brother or your sister, for example, can I come with you? It expresses about request. Can I come with you? The third example, if you ask your friend, for example, to use his or her phone, you will say, could I use your phone please? You ask him or her to use his or her phone. The second modal verb is may, and the past form of may is might. The usage of this modal verb is permission. When you talk about or express about permission. Permission means allowing someone to do something. For example, presume that you are in front of your friend and you need a pen. You will say, may I borrow your pen? May I borrow your pen? borrow means يستعير. انت قدام صديقك وانت بحاجة لقلم. شو بتحكي له؟ May I borrow your pen? The third modal verb is must, and the past form of must is ought to. When do we use this modal verb? When we talk or express about necessity or obligation. Means you have to do something. For example, you must work hard. You must work hard. يجب أن تعمل بجد. Or you must study hard. يجب أن تدرس بجد. The second example, we ought to win the match. We ought to win the match. كان يجب علينا أن نفوز بالمباراة. The fourth modal verb is shall, and the past form of shall is should. When do we use this modal verb? Yes, the first one, when we talk about or express about offer or suggestion. انت بتقترح على شخص ما انك تعمل اشي. For example, shall I help you? Shall I help you? بقدر انا اساعدك. انت بتقترح عليه. The second usage of this modal verb is advice. Advice لما انت تقدم نصيحة لشخص ما. For example, you should stop smoking. انت شفت واحد بدخن بدك تنصحه نصيحة، شو بتقول له؟ You should stop smoking. يجب أن توقف تدخين. طب okay, what is the differences between must or ought to, the past form of must, and shall or should? must or ought to لازم تعمل الاشي. يعني أنا بستخدم must or ought to لما بدي أحكي لك إنه لازم تعمل هذا الاشي، وإذا أنت ما عملته إلك عقاب. أما shall or should أنا بقدم لك عرض أو نصيحة، يعني إذا أنت أخذت فيها أنت حر، ما أخذت فيها برجع لك. أما must لا، لازم تعملها، وإذا ما عملتها في عقاب. The fifth modal verb is will, and the past form of will is would. When do we use this modal verb? The first one, prediction without evidence، توقع بدون دليل. يعني أنا باجي بحكي لك إنه it will rain، رح تمطر، رحت أنت فتحت الشباك وشفت الطقس إنه مشمس، ما في أي غيوم. أنا هون بتوقع بس ما في عندي دليل، ما في عندي غيوم. The second usage is take a decision at the moment of speaking. يعني when you decide to do something at the moment of speaking، إنك تقرر بدك تعمل إشي بلحظة الكلام. يعني أنت ما في عندك بلان، you don't have a plan، ما عندك خطة to do something. أنت هيك لحالك فجأة هيك قررت وقلت بدي أعمل هذا الإشي. For example, I will open the window. أنت هيك كنت قاعد وفجأة قمت وحكيت بدي أفتح الشباك، بس أنت مو كنت مخطط إنك بدك تفتح الشباك وأبصر إيش وهيك، تمام؟ The third usage of this modal verb is request, when you ask someone to do something. For example, would you pass the pizza? Would you pass the pizza? يعني أنا بسألك تقدر تعطيني البيتزا أو تمرر لي البيتزا. Before talking about the passive form, let's talk about the active form. We know that active sentence is totally the opposite of passive sentence. In an active sentence, the subject performs the action of the main verb. It means the doer of the action is in the sentence. يعني من قام بالفعل موجود بالجملة. In passive sentence, the action of the main verb is done to the subject. It means the doer of the action does not exist in the sentence. يعني من قام بالفعل ما بيكون موجود بالجملة. Let's talk about the affirmative form of the sentence. الشكل المثبت للجملة. You have to start with the subject, then the modal verb, then the infinitive form of the verb. Infinitive form of the verb, it means the base form of the verb. يعني الverb without any additions، يعني الفعل بدون أي إضافات عليه، بدون ed، بدون s، بدون ing، بالحالة المجردة لإله. For example, I can speak English. I the subject الفاعل، can the modal verb، speak the infinitive form of the verb، يعني الشكل المجرد للفعل بدون أي إضافات. ما حكينا speaks or spoke. No. English the object. The second example, it may snow tomorrow. It the subject, may the modal verb, snow the infinitive form of the verb, and tomorrow. The third example, it's very hot today. I will open the window. I the subject, will the modal verb, open the verb without any addition. It is in the base form بالحالة المجردة. The window is the object المفعول به. Then let's talk about the negative form of the sentence. الشكل النفي للجملة. كيف بدي أنفي؟ كيف بيكون عندي الستركتشر تبع الجملة لما بدي أنفي؟ You have to start with the subject الفاعل, then the modal verb, then not negation النفي, then the infinitive form of the verb يعني الحالة المجردة للفعل. The first example, I cannot speak English. I the subject, can the modal verb with not negation, speak the verb, and the verb without any addition here، بدون أي إضافات، بدون ed، بدون s، بدون. أصلا إحنا بنعرف إنه السبيك من ال irregular verbs، من الأفعال الغير منتظمة الشاذة، الماضي تبعها ما بيكون with ed. speak، spoke. but here because we have the modal verb we will not say spoke. It will remain in the infinitive form. I cannot speak English. The second example, it may not snow tomorrow. It the subject, may the modal verb, not the negation النفي, snow the infinitive form of the verb tomorrow. Okay, what about the interrogative form? How can I ask a question by using the modal verb? Interrogative form، كيف بقدر أسأل سؤال by using the modal verb. You have to start with the modal verb. You have to put the modal verb at the beginning of the sentence, then the subject, then the infinitive form of the verb, then the rest of the sentence، باقي الجملة. For example, can I speak English? Can I speak English? I start the sentence with the modal can, then the subject I, then the verb, then object English. How can I answer to this question? Yes, I can, or no, I cannot. The second example, may it snow tomorrow? Yes, it may, or no, it may not. I start the sentence with the modal may, then the subject it, then the infinitive form of the verb snow, then the rest of the sentence tomorrow. Tomorrow is adverb of time، يعني هو تعبير expression بيعطيني دليل للوقت، إنه tomorrow, it's not today. How can I answer? Yes, it may, or no, it may not. Okay, let's start with the passive form، المبني للمجهول. Form the structure of the sentence in passive. You have to start with the object, then the modal verb, then be, then verb 3 اللي هي past participle. لازم نبلش الجملة بالمفعول به، then the modal verb, then be, then the past participle or verb 3 التصريف الثالث للفعل. وبقدر إني أحط بين قوسين between brackets by the subject. by the subject. إذا أنا بدي أحط الفاعل بحطه بين قوسين، بحط قبليه كلمة by، بعدين بحط الفاعل السبجكت. but it is optional، هذا الاشي اختياري إني أحط الفاعل أو ما أحطه. This table show me the difference between active sentence and passive sentence. As we said before, active sentence when the doer of the action is in the sentence، من قام بالفعل موجود بالجملة. And passive sentence when the doer of the action does not exist in the sentence، من قام بالفعل مش موجود بالجملة. The first example, Ahmed must lock the door at all times. Ahmed, the subject, must, المodal, lock, the infinitive form of the verb, the door at all times, the rest of the sentence، باقي الجملة. In passive, I start with the object, the door. I put the object at the beginning of the sentence. The door, then the modal must, then be, then locked. الverb 3. الverb 3 من lock، حطينا locked at all times. Look here, we put the subject between brackets، حطينا الفاعل بين قوسين by أحمد. and as we said before in the previous slide, it's optional. هذا الاشي اختياري إنه أحط الفاعل أو ما أحطه. The second example, I will clean the house every Saturday. راح أنظف البيت كل يوم سبت. I, the subject, will, the modal verb, clean, the verb, and it is in the infinitive form بالحال المجرد بدون أي إضافات. The house is the object. And when I want to rewrite this sentence in passive form, لما أنا بدي أعيد كتابة هاي الجملة بالpassive form, I will start with the object, the house, then the modal, well, then P, then cleaned. Verb 3, men clean, cleaned. By me. By me, it's the subject and it is optional to write the subject or not every Saturday. The third example, may Ali visit Muhammad tomorrow? May, the modal, Ali, subject, visit, the verb, and it is in the base form, then Muhammad, the object, tomorrow. When I want to rewrite this sentence in passive form, I have to start with the object. Yes, Muhammad is the object, then may, the modal verb, then P, then verb 3, past participle, visited. Visited is the verb 3 from the verb visit. By Ali, subject, tomorrow. And as we said, if you want to write the subject as you like, and if you don't want, also as you like. ما بدك تحط السبجكت مثل ما بدك كما تحب، وإذا أنت بدك تحطه كمان مثل ما بدك، بس لازم لما بدنا نحطه between brackets ونحط قبلها by. The fourth example, can I borrow your black coat? بقدر أستعير معطفك الأسود. I start the sentence or the question here with can, then the subject, then borrow, the verb, and it is in the infinitive form, then the object, your black coat. Look here, this example and the previous example, they are questions. And as we said before, if you want to write a question, you have to start with the modal verb, then the subject, then the infinitive form, then the rest of the sentence, باقي الجملة. And you have to remember that at the end of the question you have to put the question mark, علامة الاستفهام. When we want to rewrite this question in passive form, yes, you have to start with the object, Muhammad. In previous example, we talk about in previous example, may Ali visit Muhammad tomorrow. We start with object, Muhammad may be visited by Ali tomorrow. Here, this question, can I borrow your black coat? You have to start with the object, your black coat, then the modal, then P, then the verb 3 past participle. At the end of this sentence, you can write or put the subject, and you have to put it between brackets, and before the subject you have to write by me. When do we use the passive form? We use the passive المبني للمجهول لما ما يكون عندي الفاعل موجود بالجملة. متى بستخدمه؟ The first one, when we don't know who does the action. احنا ما بنعرف the doer of the action, who does the action. ما بنعرف من قام بالفعل، يعني the subject ما بنعرف. We don't know the subject. The second one, when we don't care who does the action. احنا مش مهتمين مين اللي قام بالفعل. We don't care about the subject. مش مهتمين بالفاعل. The third one, when we know who does the action but we don't want to say. احنا بنعرف من قام بالفعل بس احنا ما بدنا نحكي. ليه؟ Because it is not important to mention who does the action. مش مهم انك تحكي مين قام بالفعل. The doer of the action. It's not important to mention the subject. مش مهم انك تحكي الفاعل. وحكينا it is optional to put the subject or not. انك تحط الفاعل او لا. وحكينا if you want to put the subject you have to write it at the end of the sentence and between brackets, and you have to write by before the subject. That's it for today. I wish you understand all what I said. Goodbye for now.